essentially trying to do is to do sort of this last mile delivery of new technology and new information to the local farmers.
It's really great to see that our generation are getting into farming.
We have new technology, and agriculture has to, especially in China, has to change.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Crossover. I'm Ji Xiaojun.
And I'm Yi Shu. We're here in Beijing. So, lately we've been doing a lot of shows about technology and innovation that's happening here in China. But, China is really based on agriculture, the economy. It's an agricultural country. That's where the roots are for China.
Somehow I got the impression today we're going to put agriculture and technology
How
together.
did you know?
Come on.
Well, tell me about your upbringing. You grew up in an area
in the countryside.
Right.
Yes, somehow. This topic is bringing me back to my childhood because I worked actually literally in the field.
You did.
Yeah.
And so that was, it was basically hands-on work.
Yeah.
Because in the US and in places like Canada, there's, I guess, industrial agriculture. It's very mechanized. But China has kind of held on to traditional ways of farming and agriculture, but that's all changing.
I don't know. That's why I was just wondering before this taping. When I was working there, I was wondering maybe one day I can get rid of this. I'm going to work hard, study hard of working in the field and being bathed in the sunshine, the hot sunshine. Anyway.
And now you're bathed by studio lights.
Yeah, it's still very hot. But somehow, at the time I was thinking, maybe this is not the lifestyle I want when I grew up. And then all of a sudden these days I'm hearing some young people are coming into agriculture again. I don't understand why.
I think as societies get more modern and urban, there's all of a sudden this pull to get back towards the earth.
It's a rotation, right? Just like fashion.
Absolutely.
It's going back to 30 years ago.
So today we're going to be talking about modern advances and technology in agriculture here in China. We have
our three crazy young guests here joining us in the studio. We don't understand why you were doing this or what exactly you were doing.
But they're here today. So we have Linda Tan, we have Kaz Komoda, and we have Guju. Welcome to Crossover.
Welcome. So you're all farmers now?
Yeah, I guess so.
To some extent, farmers, but different definitions,
They're
I guess.
producing food, I guess, yes, in some ways.
So what we do is each of you has a independent different project, and then what we'll do is we'll invite all of you to introduce your own projects, but at the same time, one is introducing your project and the other two will be listening, asking questions and commenting on your project.
Yeah. All right, so should we, ladies first?
Sure.
You're a farmer? You got the tan?
Is it obvious?
Yeah.
So you are a real farmer. You're in the field in Guangdong.
Yep.
In Guangdong province, which is in the south, and it's called Rice Harmony Cooperatives.
Yep.
But you're from Canada, or you grew up large part in Canada.
Yep.
When did you start farming?
About 2 years ago.
Okay. And here in China?
Yes.
What do you do? Do you do what I did when I was little?
I farm rice, mainly just rice, on a paddy field, and I grow some ducks in my rice paddy. Yeah, and that's it.
Let's get a visual understanding of what she does. We went out to her farm. Let's take a look.
Before we harvest, we're going to be measuring the yield of these fields. So what we've done is we've marked a 1 square meter area, and we're going to be counting all the panicles in this area. A panicle has a number of grains. So we're also going to be sampling some panicles, and we're going to go home and measure or count the number of grains. So this allows us to back calculate the total number of grains in the field. 找一个没有那么严重。Hi, my name is Linda and I'm Chinese Canadian. And this is my village. This is where I work. And this is where I learned to plant rice and try to bring new information and new technology to this village. This is our house. It's where we work and also where we live. Come and see. So the data that we collect in the fields go up to a cloud and we download onto our computers. And later on, we're going to do an analysis to see which growth conditions is the best. So we have subjected our fields into different growth conditions, so different inputs and different farming practice. So what we're looking for is the cheapest, safest, most environmentally friendly way to achieve a higher yield. And hopefully later on we can share this with the local farmers. And that's why we're here. So now we're going to be visiting one of our villagers and we're going to be asking her about one of her rice fields that was diseased this year. 邓阿姨，邓阿姨在吗？有没有去收稻子啊？对，我觉得明年可以就是试一下有机肥，然后多放一点有机肥，对我们那种，然后对。然后就是我们宁愿瘦一点，氮肥少一点，先让它到温的问题。And the best part of my job is that we can eat the food that we grow ourselves. 吃饭喽。I think you should try. 好，刚刚这一碗生态粥。Woo!
I think if farming doesn't work out for you, you have a career in television.
Do I? Great.
Yeah.
Take your job.
That's really cute.
You know what? I mean, all the environment and the way people talk and everything looks familiar to me. But somehow you have iPad, you're collecting data,
Right.
you have a computer, you're doing analysis. This part, I don't quite understand. So what exactly are you doing with this project?
So what we're essentially trying to do is to do sort of this last mile delivery of new technology and new information to the local farmers. So what we need to do is to test out technologies and practices that have been proven to be effective elsewhere, but not yet be introduced into this local area. So we're trying it out and we're counting the yield that we're getting, and then we're figuring out sort of the best way to do it locally. And then we're also showing this to the local farmers to see the reaction, whether they are able to adapt it. Into their practices.
Let's talk about that, like how they're able to adapt it, because these are farmers who families have lived there for probably generations, right? And all of a sudden you're going to them with your computers and your data and this new way of farming, whereas you just learned this 2 years ago. So tell me about their reaction to what you're presenting.
Well, I think when we're talking about farmers' reactions, in the community there's always sort of these really curious people, these early adopters, but also late adopters, and also people who are just kind of watching you from a distance. So I think there's a really real difference between sort of how well they take in new stuff. So I mean, we just get the people who are really curious to look at what we're doing first, and they don't need to use computers. It's just what we do to increase our efficiency.
You tell them what to do, right?
And if we can figure it out, we can just show them the stuff that they're able to do.
But the thing is, my grandfather, and he was a farmer all his life, and he believed in his own experience that much. He wouldn't even listen to even my father's opinions, when we're doing the harvesting. And I'm just wondering, you being such a young, new farmer, and your background, I guess, not in agriculture, not in farming, how would they listen to you? Why do they listen to you?
Yeah, that's a really good point. So this takes us to how farmers learn, like how do they learn new things. And I think it's really important that they learn from their neighbors.
But you have to gain their trust, right?
Yeah, it takes time. It takes time, and it also takes, we can't just go in and give them a lecture on it and show them pictures. We have to be right beside them for them to, see us every day, to feel like we're sort of the new people in the village. And then we just do it right in front of their eyes.
So you've really partnered with them. I mean, you're there in the field with them every single day, planting, growing, doing your analysis with them. What sort of results are you trying to achieve, and have you seen some of those results yet already?
Yeah, I think overall what we're trying to do is to decrease the use of chemicals and also to produce rice that's worth more money, basically. So more ecologically friendly and
higher
safer,
quality.
higher quality, safer for consumers. So I think the fact that we're able to sell our rice and the rice that they can produce under our sort of rules at a much higher price is effective for them to adopt, our methods.
How long have you been doing this?
For me,
Yeah.
it's 2 years.
So have you
for the project.
increased? Have you increased their
Exactly.
revenue, the farmers' revenue?
Yeah, I think
How much?
between 15 to 50%.
15
So
to 50%.
averaging about
I
30.
think your grandfather would like that.
No,
Yeah?
yeah.
50%?
Well, he passed away long ago.
When our director Zhou Lei went to Guangdong to
Yes.
check out the village, she sent us. Do you remember? She sent some WeChat. She was like, "Oh my gosh, this place is so cool." Is this what we're seeing? Yeah, I'm just wondering. Here you are. You're very young. You weren't in farming. 2 years ago, you stepped into this field. It asked for all three of you. Is there now this feeling? And I know you're bringing a lot of young people from the city to the farm to actually work the fields. What's the feeling as somebody who's young, and very urban and fashionable, to go to the field and actually work the soil again? What's the feeling that you get from this?
Well, personally, I mean, I love just, good air, nice air, and like a big open area. Every time I go back to the city, I feel like, how come there's so many people here? Like, where did all these people come from? So all that space is really nice. And right now, going to a village is not really like going back 30 years because you have the internet.
It's all connected.
We can Taobao,
Right.
which is really
Do they
important.
deliver goods to the countryside? Now?
Not to our house.
Okay.
But we can go pick it up.
Right.
And and we have high-speed internet, and transportation isn't that difficult anymore. And I think young people, we bring in new ideas because we're always looking to the
Right.
future. So it's about how will this place be like?
But in
In
general,
5
you're
years.
enjoying that lifestyle.
Yeah, I am. I can go out for a run in the morning in the mountains.
How many young people are you talking about involved in this project?
We have about 3 full-time girls in the village.
So they're doing actually a job. It's just like a job anywhere they can get.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Fully paid.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah. And we
okay.
get to cook together every day, like a family.
That's almost like, it's not just a project. It's like a new lifestyle. You're
lifestyle.
basically
It
initiating
is.
this new lifestyle here.
I think it sounds
Well,
wonderful.
gentlemen, when you listen to this project, I know you have your own projects, but when you listen to her project,
Yeah.
what do you think?
It's great. First of all, it's really great to see that our generation are getting into farming. But I don't understand. There was a duck in the film.
Lots of them.
Yeah. Were they just your fans, or they're actually part of the actual?
Good one, fans. They're following you.
Pets, not food.
They're pets.
Well, for me they are, but for
Okay.
other, if
Right,
there's
for the
another farmer. So, because ducks, they can swim in the water, so they can live sort of during the day. They can go out in the rice field and spend the day there. So it's a form of biocontrol because they catch insects basically.
So
I
they
see.
play a
Yes.
role, a useful role
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
rice
Part of
paddy.
the biology of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, part of the ecology, and also they lay eggs.
They come,
Most
yeah.
of my ducks are female. They're gonna be
Yeah.
laying eggs, and people eat them. But so far,
You
I'm
don't?
not psychologically not.
Out of sight. Anyway, don't see it.
I'm just wondering about the scale, like how many fields, I mean, how large the fields you're actually
How many
serving,
acres say
yes.
involved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually don't know it in acres, but
Okay.
in the entire village, it's a mountainous area. But overall, there's 1,200 mu.
Cool.
Yeah.
So I think, the thing is, if the smallest can get together and become a collective,
It's a
then we can-
cooperative, yeah.
Cooperative, and then we can get access to,
Right.
that
To the
kind
big
of-
data that
Yeah.
Guju is doing.
That's what I'm wondering. So it's like, how many people you're actually serving this, like over 1,000 mu?
Right now we're covering about 400.
Okay.
So 1/3
All
of the
villages.
village, 1/3.
400 villagers.
400 mu.
Oh, mu.
400.
Yeah.
Okay.
But how many? What is the population like in that village?
It's About 200 households.
200. Okay.
Yeah.
So you employ people.
We don't employ. We kind of, it's sort of a contracted sort of relationship. We're working with 53 households now out of the 200.
Right.
So you're creating the cooperative amongst these 53 farmers, and then you're buying the rice and selling it to different channels. And I love this idea, you know, the young people coming in with technology and this new way, working with the traditional farmers in the countryside and getting the sunshine and the benefit of a new style with it. You're bringing people back to the farms, back to the countryside. Kaz is doing something completely different, where he is bringing the farm into the cities.
Basically, you're saying the opposite. Don't go back to the countryside.
There's a lot in the cities.
We bring the countryside to you. Right?
When we come back from the short break, we're going to hear about Kaz's story and his company, Aleska.
Stay with us, and if you want to reach us, these are the links.
You can grow anything in the container, from leafy green to potato to tomato. Also, even later, we're going to grow flowers.
But does it have to be in a 20 square foot, 40 square foot container, or can it be done in my bathroom?
Actually, it might be a great place because there's
humidity.
And welcome back to Crossover. Again, we have 3 different stories, and we have 3 new generation of farmers over here. We just heard about your project, and now you're going to change your position to be a commentator now. So listen to Kaz's project.
We're trying to bring back the farming into the city.
Your enemies.
Not to
compliment
not to criticize her, because it's really important that our generation, or even the next generation, would produce food, because population is growing. There's no denial about that. By 2030, for example, China is expected to grow 2.5 million people more than today.
So we have population 1.4 billion, all right?
Right now, 1.4, yes, and 2.5 million more by 2030. But then, like you said at the beginning, you're not farmer, but your grandfather was a farmer. Your father might.
I was kind of a farmer too.
But you're now sitting here. This is your main job. And probably you don't want your kids to become
a farmer.
So am I. But if there's nobody producing the food, but population is growing, then what are we going to eat?
We go to Guangdong to find Linda.
So this is about survival?
It's not. It's part, yes, because right now there's food security problem all over the world.
Right.
There's also food safety problem all over the world. What we eat today, can you really
trust it? Right.
You know that it is safe. How is it growing? I mean, if I go to Linda's home every day, I know if she's growing, that's great. I trust her, so I trust her food. But
it's like he's pitching to all these, potential investors. It's all building up to a project. So tell us your project. Yeah.
So then, because of those problems that we face, we created a technology that you can actually grow it anywhere you want.
So I could grow at my home.
Yes,
in my
can.
apartment.
But
yes,
it's about containers.
Yeah.
Large or small.
Does it have to be done? I mean, I've heard the concept container farming before, but does it have to be in a 20 square foot, 40 square foot container, or
it
can it be
have
done
to
in
be.
my bathroom?
Technically, yes, you can do it in your bathroom. Actually, it might be a great place because there's
humidity.
Sure.
Yeah. So the reason why we did it at the beginning in a container is because container itself is actually a logistic tool.
Yes.
You can actually ship it anywhere.
It's mobile.
That's what we use.
Right.
Yes, it's a mobile. So a country like Dubai or Egypt or Canada or Alaska. Those places, we can actually ship it from China, the container. The farm is inside. As soon as you get
inside.
the farm is inside the container.
It's a mobile farm.
Right.
Yes, it's a mobile farm.
Right.
As soon as the container arrives to the destination, all you have to do is plug in a water and electricity, and next moment, there you go, you have a farm.
Okay.
No sunshine needed.
No sunshine needed.
So once again, I think we need a visual on this.
See,
We have a
exactly.
clip. Let's take a look.
Okay.
I think this is so cool from a futuristic. It's like that movie, The Martian, right?
That's
you know,
right.
where you're on Mars and you're trying to
Yeah.
grow your farm in this very artificial environment.
Are they the
And I
same?
think hydroponics is amazing. But yeah, I mean, there's just not that, that feeling. You have the greatest energy source, which is the natural sun.
Exactly.
To grow your plants. So, I mean,
Are they
How do you-
vegetables, the same vegetables?
will they
these
taste the
days now?
same?
Exactly.
Yes, actually, we get that question all the time.
Right.
It looks so techy, the lettuce. But actually, when you go in there, so people say natural, nature. But these days, the nature itself is disappearing. The ozones are getting thinner and thinner and thinner every day because technology is causing
It's
that.
killing it.
Right.
Yes, the carbons are killing it. But we have to rely on cars, logistics to live today. So the nature is getting destroyed by us. And what we're really doing is actually controlling the environment. And it looks techy because we have to actually control the environment so that container, it's actually as close as 50 years ago's nature.
But we
Because-
don't really see soil in it, right? It's all liquid and
water
chemicals and
right.
I don't
Yes,
know.
it's a water-based. So it's
Hydroponics,
hydroponics.
right.
Okay.
Hydroponics. Hydroponics has been there
I
more
did a
than
high
50
school
years.
project on hydroponics.
Great.
That's
So
a big
you know,
part of your
so-
company.
Did you grow anything?
I grew some sort of plant. Yeah, it was a science fair project.
We get the idea. It's equally good. It's and it's good for the environment. Now back to business. Who do you sell these containers to?
Right now we're
Companies? Individuals?
individuals, government. We have a government project with Dubai right now.
You're not selling it already to Dubai.
We are
It's a
having,
government-backed project there.
It's a government, yes.
Okay.
They're building, I'm not sure if I can say this, but they're building a new city between Abu Dhabi and Dubai. And that city itself needs to sustain by itself. So we are providing the
In
food
the middle of the
part
desert,
yes,
right.
the food
So
part
they have
of
a
the
farm
solution.
in a container. Do they live in containers too?
They don't have to. Also, the inside the
in the
container.
desert, right?
You can live in there. While we're
Okay.
building a first container, we actually stayed there.
It's
for a
going to
couple
be a new
nights.
city of containers of different functions, right?
I mean, there is a container hotel these days also.
Yeah.
In housing.
What about in Beijing? I mean, we're talking about not just in Dubai, any mega cities, right? All these huge cities.
Yes.
Probably that you see a future and potential.
Right. In Beijing, there are different government restrictions. So we only have one container right in CBD, Hujialou.
Okay,
We
the
have a
pilot
container.
program, not far from here.
It's very close from here.
Yeah.
We are actually growing it inside
Okay.
the container every day so that people will actually come and see. We did a couple.
Just for
And can I
demonstration.
order a farm fresh salad from you today?
With the map?
We don't deliver vegetable. We deliver technologies to our customers. So you can get it from our customers.
So
I
again,
see.
you're a technology company. You do not
Right.
actually sell products yourself.
We don't sell vegetable.
What can you grow in a
I
container?
was going to ask that same thing. Are there certain vegetables you can't grow in a container?
Right. Actually, you can theoretically you can grow anything in the container, from leafy green to potato to tomato. Also, even later, we're gonna grow flowers, rows
Flour,
inside.
okay.
Yeah. So theoretically, you
Rice?
can grow
Can you
anything.
grow rice?
You can, yes.
But you need a
It
lot of land
hardly
for
doesn't
rice.
make sense.
Right.
True,
You
true.
can't
So
get the volume or the
economically,
yield.
it doesn't really make sense to grow rice. So there are specific varieties that actually make sense economically. But
Can-
then,
Yeah, can individuals maybe in the future, say myself, and book a small size one that
You
I
want
can?
a small container.
Yeah, just I can just put it in my home and then I can grow myself. Actually.
yes, next year we're trying to develop a product to actually bring a smaller container into your home, so you can actually harvest your leafy green
Are they
vegetables every
expensive?
day. We're in-
Compared to the organic food that we can get in supermarket.
I mean, right now the price is about the same. The organic labeled vegetable were about the same price.
Is this automated? So you have sensors?
This is semi-automated
Okay.
because we're dealing with something live. There are still human labor involved,
Okay.
but there are different countries doing this fully automated, everything robot. But again, you know, our dream is to try to bring next generation get back into farming. So if I replace that job with a robot,
Yeah.
it's
It's a pilot program.
Right.
Why Beijing?
why Beijing? Actually, I'm half Chinese, half Japanese. Everything I eat in Japan, we don't really think about is this food safe. In China, some people do feel that they don't know what they're eating, or that food that they eat, they don't know where it
Are they safe or
come
not?
from.
Yeah.
Right. So with me being half, I would like to help the other half of my home country with my background, with whatever I can.
I think it's super awesome. I think hydroponics saves water, right? Because
Exactly.
it cycles through.
You
Yes.
refilter, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the, because we're talking about, you know, environmental impact. And I
Yeah.
think the energy issue, I mean, it's slowly going to be, is it LED lights you have in there?
Yes, we have LED light. Water, we actually use only 5% of traditional
Yeah.
agriculture.
Oh,
Yeah.
Only 5%.
And I think with, you know, like climate change, some areas are going to have
Yeah.
more drought. And we're seeing that
Absolutely.
already. And in the desert, we're, you know, between Abu Dhabi and Dubai, I
Container
think.
city.
Your
Yes.
pilot
do
city,
you
right?
see a future of this project in your village?
I see it in my home. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
How many
Yes.
people can one container feed?
One container can produce about 56 kilogram of vegetables every week.
Every week? Wow.
Every
56.
So how,
You
how
mean,
much does the
a
average
standard
person
size one?
consume?
In a day.
From our research, about 3 kg a week.
3 kg a week, okay.
Family.
A
One
family.
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 Three.
Okay.
It's
Three.
about 20 families.
Yeah, 20 families.
Yes, one.
That's a
container.
standard size container.
That's a 40-foot standard size.
Where'd you put them? In the parking garage or
Anywhere.
anywhere?
Anywhere.
I'm just one concern. I have only one concern. You're going to occupy our parking space. It's getting more difficult
Well,
for
can
us
you
to find a
stack
place to
them?
park the car.
Well, so what we do in Hujalo actually right now, we stacked
Rooftop.
up.
Stack them.
We stacked up
all right,
the
all
container.
right. Yeah, that
so
solved
we
the problem.
park right under the container.
See?
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
Well, that sounds
container
great.
itself, you can actually stack.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what containers do, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Guju, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's just like it's my question is how many food I actually provide for one container. Because like another question is like the benefit, how you can benefit from the whole container things. You're selling container to the companies, and they're producing all the things by themselves, right?
Yes. So container, they actually produce way more food than individual. So
Okay.
our next project, when we get into each home, one container will be serving about 48 household. So we're actually not selling a full-grown vegetables, delivering into home. We're delivering a little saplings. When they're about 4 weeks old, we're delivering that to your home system.
The small
And
one.
Yes, and in your home system, it will finish growing to whenever you want to eat.
So it'll be a
Ah, right.
subscription basis. Every
Yes.
week you
Every
send.
week.
So
Right.
you're
We
a
can
vegetable center, or, you know,
You're like a nursery.
exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
we do farming as a service.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So we call ourselves as a
We see your
farms.
model. Somehow we see your model. in our business
So you can
model.
actually
Sounds cool.
choose whatever vegetables you want to eat from your cell phone, and then we will deliver that. And you can eat it at any stage. It's not like vegetables small you can't eat.
Right.
You can still eat it at any stage you want.
Okay.
Okay, do you need a beta tester?
Yes, we do.
I'll sign up.
Yes.
My kids will love it. My kids will love it.
All right.
This is just a taste of how technology is going to affect agriculture in the future. When we come back, we're going to talk to Guju, who is applying this concept of big data to agriculture. So this is going to be really interesting. In the meantime, check out the links below. Please stay tuned. You're monitoring the health of the crops from satellite
You can
pictures,
see
satellite
all
Well,
these details from a satellite.
Yeah, sure.
data. Wow.
All right.
Well, again,
Yeah,
let's-
NASA.
How deep can a satellite look in? Like, can they look into containers?
Yeah, like 20 kilometers underneath.
We need to make a revolution in this sector, because no matter what you do, you still have to eat.
And welcome back to Crossover. And now we have the third project here. You've been listening. You've been, relatively speaking, quiet listening to the two projects, which are, I guess, very much different from what you are doing with satellite.
Yeah. So we're actually we're using all this satellite image, and we try to analyze all the things what is happening on the images. So to monitor all the fields. Because now people are in China, we have like very large fields for agriculture, for farming, for the rice, for the wheat, for potato. So it's like over 1,000 or 10,000 mu for each company, and they want to like somehow improve the efficiency. Like they want to know what is happening on the fields. They want to know like how many people I'm using, like how many like pesticides I have to use. All these agricultural company. They invest money to the agricultural part, and they can benefit a lot. So
if I think about what Linda and Kaz are doing, they're kind of more on a micro scale. You're on a macro scale. And you used to be a NASA scientist.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. I was.
So you're taking this data, like you said, satellite data. And can you give me just an example of what sort of data you might produce for these companies, and recommendations or analysis?
Yeah, sure, of course. So you have very large fields, and you cannot, for single people or for a small team, like what Linda is doing, like you have like over 200 like families here. But for like a large company, they cannot hold so much people, as they want to still observe what is happening there. So we can use satellite image, and we can monitor all this vegetation. We can see like this time series analysis, like at the very early stage when the plant is growing, so we start to observe, so we start to take pictures,
So you're monitoring the health of the crops from satellite pictures,
You can see all these details from a satellite.
Yeah, sure.
Wow.
All right.
Well, again,
NASA.
Again, let's take a look at this video clip.
Yunjing, the frontiers of digital agriculture. With a few clicks, you will gain knowledge about the weather, land, and crops. By using the platform, your production will succeed and excel. Plot planning completed. Corns were planted on the plot last year. Based on analysis, it's more suitable to grow potatoes this year. Nitrogenous fertilizer is needed. Yield is forecasted to be 10% higher. We monitor the growth of crops and provide suggestions accordingly. In the next 2 weeks, there's a 70% chance of potato late blight outbreak. Disease control and prevention plan is formulated to minimize losses. Warning: disease is discovered. Please assign a drone. Flying route and altitude set. Operation efficiency will improve by 30%. According to the weather forecast, there will be rain. Reduce irrigation to help save 40% of water. Harvest the pasture immediately and complete the task before noon. The total earnings of pineapples are estimated to reach about 318,000 yuan. Land productivity is excellent. Low interest rate of loan programs is recommended.
You know what? After watching this footage, and somehow I feel I'm talking about satellite technology. I'm literally illiterate. Basically, I know nothing about technology. I don't realize really technology or a satellite can do that much.
Right, but what I'm also hearing is like you can forecast. I mean, the amount of planning that this can help with and forecast everything from disease to weather patterns to prices in the market. Then you can affect what they're going to grow or plant. And I don't think this is all from satellite data. I mean, you're using data sources from
analysis.
You're right.
Yeah, we're talking about like big data. We're actually collecting all this data we can have, like not only from satellite image, but also from this weather station, from the internet. If you want to know the price, you have to know the data from the market.
It's like pineapple prices are going up. Grow more pineapple.
You have to know.
But where do you get all the information? Are you working with the government now?
Oh, no. It's actually, there are a lot of satellite images that's open to use.
It's all public data.
Yeah. Also, there are some like commercial satellite image you can buy. So it's very high resolution image.
Who do you work with?
Right.
Big companies, you
Who's
said.
adopting? Which companies are you working with? Which
It's all Chinese agricultural companies.
When you say big companies, I mean, in what sense? And companies like them selling technology, helping farmers, or what kind of big companies are they?
Is that good to say? I don't know. It's it's a back soil if you know.
We have all kinds of secrets, eh? Go ahead.
Yeah, so the back soil is like if you know about it, it's a 黑土地 in
Heilongjiang?
yeah
In northeast China?
I don't know. Right.
Hey,
They have
because
very
it's
large-
black soil. I don't know the company, but you know, we
Well, the
black
company
soil.
named as like black soil.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very high agriculture company. They have all the fields. They rent all the fields from the local farmers. Like what Linda just said, a lot of young people don't want to like
Stay in the countryside.
Yeah, they just go to the city or go to urban. So the company have collect all these fields together. So then they have all these modern equipments, all these machines. So you can use all modern technologies.
Well, and to me, like this sort of big data technology, it makes sense, right? I mean, it's happened in every other production capacity in terms of factories and in industrial manufacturing. Why not agriculture? Because in the end, you're producing something, and you need to look at all the different factors that are inputs that are being put into production, so that you could get higher yields, you can protect your crops, and you could get better prices, right? Because it's all about it's a business.
Yeah.
So it does make sense.
Comments?
Yeah, what do you think, Linda, Kaz?
How deep can a satellite look in? Like, can they look into containers?
No,
Yeah, like 20 kilometers underneath.
not right now, but maybe someday. No.
Laser vision.
You can use camera inside the.
But Kaz, why is that important? How deep can you look into?
He wants to get access to that.
Yeah,
that big
Yeah,
data.
so that I
Use
can
that.
get access to what he's working on.
You would like to use it.
I mean, if
Yep.
it's
Why
Yeah, can you
not?
look
Yeah.
into
great, like,
containers in
why
the
not?
parking garage? Or?
Well, Linda, you mentioned that before too. You said, you said if you could get a bunch of your farmers together, you would love to use technology like
Yeah,
this.
I mean, I think that's the future. That's the future. Precision agriculture and smart agriculture.
smart agriculture.
I think that's the future. And I think what I'm concerned with is how will people benefit from it sort of in a more equal way? Because right now, of course, the bigger your farm is, it makes more sense
cost-effective,
to sort of purchase that kind of service.
Right.
But if you own just a small plot of land, you will never be able to purchase it. It
Right.
wouldn't make sense, and you would never be able to compete with those big,
because
big
they're only
farms.
going to become stronger and stronger
Yeah.
because they have this great data.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you have a, say, minimum charge? I mean, how large do you require
Well, I think somehow Linda is like my potential client.
Yeah.
How about a pro bono client for you?
Maybe.
Pro bono.
No, that's fine. We can afford it. We can afford it.
Yeah.
No,
But
just
what Linda is doing is actually complementary, because you're putting all these farmers together and form a, relatively speaking, much larger than before scale of land, and then I guess your company can work on.
yeah. I think that's my goal to bring people together, enough people together, so that they can have access together to
Right.
these things and these things.
Right. You
Yeah.
would create the volume. Yeah. And the strength.
Once again, I mean, just look at your projects. You know, you're doing traditional farming, but in this new way. You're doing still farming, but totally not seen before in a container. You know, that's
Urban farming.
just crazy. You're doing still farming, but making more use of technology, all these data analysis, and helping, modern farming, let's say. Do you see your projects, individual projects, or do you see this is actually where agriculture, where farming is going in China?
Well, I think in the future there's going to be more diversity. We're going to see more of everything that's going to be happening, and also I think especially what he's doing is probably sort of going to be sort of the mainstream in the future.
Happening more.
Yeah, and I think the container farming, because urban centers are going to stay and they're going to be bigger, I think. So this is an alternative, and that's what we need, alternatives, because the society has been changing. The structure of city, urban, and countryside has been shifting a lot towards huge mega cities, and I think because things have been changing, agriculture is adapting to it.
You know, whether you're bringing people out to the countryside or, like you said, you know, urban farming or big data, you know, it's all agriculture. And agriculture, I think all of the people who are involved in farming and agriculture, you all have this sort of shared goal or shared vision. How would you express what this shared vision might be, Kaz?
Well, we hope that the next generation or next generation would have access to safe food whenever they want, wherever they want. By doing, in order to do that, actually a lot of people have to produce food. So we actually do welcome, you know, more people get into farming. Just like Linda said, the environment is changing, and agriculture has not been revolutionized. Not like car, where before it was horse, now it's a car. A telephone, we were talking, now we don't even have a cord. It's cordless, and we're still talking. So these things have been revolutionized. But agriculture, we're still doing what we were doing 100 years ago, thousand years ago. So we need to make a revolution in this sector, because no matter what you do, you still have to eat.
So technology is going to play a major role.
Yes, yes. We have to adopt or innovate to actually adopt to the future.
Yeah. We did talk about it in the beginning. We said, is this about survival? And I guess in the end, it is really about survival. It's about creating, like you said, a safe place for us to source our food.
Like just what Kaz just said, so we have new technology, and agriculture has to, I mean, especially in China, has to change. We've been through all this like old technologies, this old way to do the farming, and now it's like, I mean, look at America, it's 1% of population, and then producing the food like provide the whole country. So that is what's going to happen in China. Less people want to still stay in the village. They want to go to the city. So it's a chance. It's our chance to introduce all this. And for me, it's like there's no like farmer anymore in the future. It's like all the people. No, I mean expert. They're doing the farming things, and all the other people they're just living in the urban.
Just a profession.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it must be exciting to apply one of the most innovative concepts in technology to one of the most traditional industries out there, which is farming. I want to thank the three of you so much for being here today.
Thank
you.
Thank you.
And somehow you give me hope again. Maybe one day I'm going back to my countryside to be a new generation of farmer again, right? After 30 years.
I would love to see pictures of that.
All right. Thank you once again.
And thanks to our viewers at home for tuning in. We'll see you next weekend on Crossover. Until then, check out the links below to stay connected with us.
Bye-bye.
Stay tuned.
See you next
Bye-bye.
week.